Joan Rivers, the comedian, died yesterday after being taken off life support, and I've been getting calls left and right from people who are in a similar situation where their family member has died, and now they want to know, do we have to have an autopsy in order to go ahead with a wrongful death lawsuit in New York? You want to know the answer? Come join me as I share with you this great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. The answer is no, we don't need to have an autopsy. And by the way, for those of you not familiar with what an autopsy is, it's a clinical examination of someone who has died. And that's typically performed by a doctor known as a pathologist. The entire purpose of doing an autopsy is to get to the bottom of things, find out truly why the patient died. And now, if an autopsy is in fact done, I have to tell you something very important. The results of that autopsy could be a double-edged sword. Now, what do I mean? Well, if an autopsy is done, it might help you in bringing a lawsuit because now we can trace back how this horrible thing occurred. If in fact the autopsy shows that the doctor did nothing wrong and now the cause of death was totally unrelated, now it'll be impossible or extremely difficult to still go forward with a claim for wrongful death. So that's what I mean when I say an autopsy could be a double-edged sword. It can help in certain instances and it might not. What about in instances where the patient and their family, for whatever reason, mostly religious, choose not to have an autopsy? Can you still go forward with a wrongful death lawsuit? The answer is yes, but now we won't know the exact cause of death. And then we have to try and work backwards to determine what was it that was the triggering factor, what was the root cause that brought about this patient's problem? Why were they in a coma for 8 days, like in Joan Rivers' case? And now, what is it that caused her to die once she was taken off the respirator? As long as we have medical experts that can reasonably explain that sequence of events, to then connect the dots showing that because a doctor violated the basic standards of medical care, now the patient had a heart attack, now she went into a coma, now she suffered brain injury, and now the respirator was merely keeping her mechanically alive, and once you take the patient off the life support, now their body can no longer function and they will die. As long as we can connect all the dots using medical experts, in that instance, having an autopsy will not be the limiting factor in going forward with a valid medical malpractice wrongful death case. So why do I share this great information? I share it with you because Joan Rivers' death and what happened to her tragically has raised an incredible awareness of people who are in a similar situation. And now they too want to know, can we go ahead and bring a lawsuit if we don't have an autopsy? You know, I realize you're watching this because you likely have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter happened here in New York and you do have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. This is something I do every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.